Here's a quick demonstration on how to create a chat and add members in Microsoft Teams using Centro, and how to add members to a specific chat based on changes in Salesforce using Centro. So in this example here, we have a chat that exists, and when someone changes or gets added to the opportunity team, we want them to get added to this chat that already exists. We also want default behavior to happen that if the chat doesn't exist, we should create one. So in this example, we'll be using a flow, and this flow is on the opportunity team member. And that is an out-of-the-box functionality here, but this can be done with any related item to any object, so an account team or a client team, etc., as long as it's tied to the user record within Salesforce. On the user record within Salesforce, Centro ships with a field called the Slack ID, and that will store both the Slack user ID but also the team ID of that user. And that gets populated when the user either logs into the LWC when it's on a particular object. So if you go here, when they log in here, through this functionality here, that will populate it, or in Microsoft Teams, if they go to the Home tab and authenticate to the My Salesforce functionality here, that will also populate that field. And that field's important because we need that information to add them to the record in Microsoft Teams chat. So this is on the opportunity team member object, and when that object is created, and I don't have any limitations on that at the moment, the first step is to do a get on the linked conversation record here, and we're going to go ahead and match this linked conversation here to the opportunity ID, and this can be, again, just as long as you're tying it to whatever object the chat is linked to in the linked conversation object. I'm also limiting this to chats, and I'm doing that by adding this contains value at thread v2. This may not be necessary depending on your use case, but is for me in my demo org. We're going to return the first record, and we're going to put them into separate variables, and then I'm going to take the channel ID, and I'm going to populate the var channel GUID variable here. I'm going to set a couple other fields here that's going to help me in my default outcome. So first I'm going to grab the var opportunity, create a variable called the var opportunity ID, and I'm going to set that to the opportunity ID. And then for adding the members, I'm going to create a collection variable here called var members. Notice here that the multiple values are selected, and that's a text field. And then I'm using the add operator here to add in that Slack user ID field to populate the correct team ID to add them. Next, I check to see if there's a chat associated with that opportunity. If there is, we're going to go down the chat exists path. If there isn't, we're going to go down the default outcome path. If the chat exists, we're going to use the flow element invite/remove users to existing conversations. We're going to put the channel GUID here in channel ID, and then we're going to add the members here in the invite collection to Salesforce members. If the chat doesn't exist, we're going to go ahead and create that chat. I have a formula field here that names the chat based on the opportunity name with an underscore. And then again, I'm using that var members here to add this person to that chat. And then I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to go ahead and in the manual assign variable section, set the GUID of the newly created chat. And then in here, I'm going to post the record block and link it to the correct opportunity. So here's that channel GUID again, getting set. I'm going to post a new opportunity chat text message, and then I'm going to go ahead and link it to that variable I created above in the assignment section to tie it to the correct opportunity. So those are the steps on how to add someone to a chat if it already exists, and if not, create a new chat for that opportunity so that way conversations and collaborations can happen. That's how you do that with Centro, Salesforce and Microsoft Teams, please reach out with any questions.